How did it all begin? You know, for literally thousands of years, we've looked to science and spirituality for the answer. Well, today, we're going to explore this incredible crossroads, where a really strange signal from deep space seems to echo a creation story that's thousands of years old, and it might just challenge everything we thought we knew about where we come from.
I mean, it's the ultimate question, isn't it? It's the one thing that has driven every great thinker, every scientist, every philosopher. It's what pushes us to build these massive telescopes to peer back to the dawn of time, and at the same time, to dig through ancient texts just looking for clues.
All right, so our modern scientific story, it pretty much starts with the Big Bang. This is the leading theory for how everything, and I mean everything, came to be. The idea is just staggering. Try to wrap your head around this. About 13.8 billion years ago, all of space, all of time, all the matter in our universe was squeezed into this infinitely hot, dense point. They call it a singularity. And then, in a flash, it just exploded outwards. And from that single eruption, space and time themselves were born. For hundreds of thousands of years, the universe was just this superheated soup of energy and particles. But as it cooled, the very first atoms started to form. And then, over billions of years, gravity did its thing, pulling all this matter together to create the stars, the galaxies, and the planets we see today. Now here's the crucial thing in the standard scientific model. This whole magnificent cosmic structure is seen as the result of a totally random event, just governed by the laws of physics. It does a brilliant job of explaining the how, but it deliberately, and I mean deliberately, leaves the questions of why it happened, or if there was a who behind it, completely off the table. But what if a real-world scientific discovery started pointing towards a completely different kind of story? Because back in 2006, astronomers picked up a signal from deep space that didn't just puzzle them, it actually challenged the very rules of the cosmos. The date was June 14th, 2006. NASA's SWIFT satellite, which is basically a space telescope designed to hunt for the biggest explosions in the universe, picked up a signal that just didn't make any sense. They cataloged it as GRB 060614. Now, a gamma ray burst is this massive flash of high-energy light, and it usually signals the death of a huge star. But this one was different. It broke all the rules. Just how different? Well, the duration was astounding. A typical gamma ray burst lasts for about 2 seconds. 2 seconds. GRB 060614 went on for an incredible 102 seconds. It was way too long to be a standard burst, but it didn't come from a supernova either. It was a burst of just unimaginable power, 1 trillion times stronger than our sun, erupting from a single tiny point. This bizarre event gave scientists the first piece of potential evidence for something that was only ever a theory, something called a white hole. Just think of it as the complete opposite of a black hole, right? A black hole's gravity is so intense nothing can escape. A white hole, on the other hand, is a point where matter and energy are violently shot out, and nothing can get in. Could that be what they saw? Okay, so this whole idea of a cosmic eruption from a single point, it might sound familiar. But it's not just from modern physics. An incredibly similar concept is described in ancient Vedic scriptures. And the fundamental difference here is one big word: intent. See, in the Vedic view, the cosmos is no accident. It's a grand design, a composition created with purpose and order, almost like a beautiful piece of music. So instead of a single one-off Big Bang, this ancient cosmology talks about a universe that breathes. It goes through these huge cycles of destruction, called pralaya, and then rebirth, known as shrusti. It's an eternal cosmic rhythm of ending and beginning. And the process is described in 3 stages. First up, at the end of a cycle, the whole universe dissolves and collapses into what we would now call a black hole. Then, over who knows how long, this point gets filled with a divine creative energy called param prakash. Finally, once it's full, it transforms and erupts as a white hole, birthing an entirely new universe. But wait, if creation isn't random, that leads us right back to the question science leaves unanswered. Who or what is behind it all? Well, the Vedic model proposes a cosmos that's actually guided by consciousness. It's a pretty powerful concept, right? A universe that isn't just created, but is actively managed.
The Vedic texts describe a cosmos with this deep, hierarchical structure of responsibility and design, where absolutely nothing is left to chance. This system shows a whole chain of creation. It starts with the master of a single solar system, a role they call Shiva, and it goes all the way up through the creators of entire galaxies to the grand architect of the whole universe. It's a vast, interconnected system of cosmic design. So you might be wondering, how is order maintained through all this destruction and rebirth? Well, according to these texts, a cosmic blueprint of space and time called the Mahatattva is preserved. You can think of it like a cosmic hard drive. This record allows the creator to basically reconstruct the universe as it is in the next cycle. It ensures everything continues. Okay, so let's pause for a second. We have two really fascinating stories here. One from the absolute cutting edge of science, and one from deep ancient wisdom. So let's see how they actually line up. I mean, just look at this. On the left, you've got the modern scientific model of a white hole, a point in space-time where energy and matter just erupt. And on the right, the ancient concept of Param Prakash, a divine light that bursts out to create the cosmos. The visual parallel is it's striking. You know, when you put them side by side, the echoes are undeniable. Both describe creation starting from a single explosive point. Science stumbles upon a mysterious event that perfectly fits the profile of a white hole, while the Dantic wisdom has, for ages, described the exact mechanism of a black hole transforming into a white hole to kick off a new universe. So here's the big idea, the main takeaway. What if these aren't competing theories at all? What if science and ancient wisdom are just two different languages, one using math and observation, the other using metaphysics and consciousness, and they're both trying to describe the very same magnificent truth about where we all came from? It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? Is that mysterious gamma ray burst, the one recorded by a NASA satellite, just some random cosmic anomaly? Or could it be the very first piece of physical evidence of a process that was described in astonishing detail thousands of years ago? It's a mystery that really bridges that gap between the cosmos and our oldest, most profound stories.